So throughout your life, you take on a slew of identities. These identities are given to you at birth, is given to you by a country, by your culture, um, by society. Some of these identities you take on as you grow older. So for example, when you're born, you take on the identity of being a human. You're either male or female. You're given a name. You're given a place of birth. As you grow older, you take on more identities. You're a student. There are identities based on your likes and dislikes. You go to college, you graduate, you become a doctor or a lawyer or a businessman, an artist or musician, a photographer, a model. So throughout your life, you're taking on all these roles or these identities. You get married, you become a spouse, you have a kid, you're now a mother or a father. Your kids have kids, you're a grandparent now. Your siblings have kids, you're an uncle or an auntie. And on, the list goes on. It never ends with these identities that you take on. But ask yourself this question: who exactly is taking on all of these identities? Notice that someone or something has to be present first to take on all of your identities that you take on. This presence doesn't have an identity to begin with, obviously. It takes on all of these identities. So what is it that takes on all of these identities, and what are you before you take on any of these identities? Who or what exactly are you? Can you give that identity a name or a form, a designation? This requires you to introspect deeply about the nature of the one, the nature of you, the one that takes on all of these identities. Is that what consciousness is? Is that what awareness is? Perhaps. Is that what the I is when you refer to yourself as I am? And ask yourself, is this person, I shouldn't say person because even person is an identity, is this presence even born? Is this presence always there? And what happens to this presence upon death? What happens to this presence when it's lights out? Does this presence just, when you die, your identities, all of the identities you take on die with you, but what about that presence that took on all of those identities? What happens to that presence? If you're religious or spiritual, or you believe in the afterlife, you might say that who I am, this presence, is the soul or spirit. And after I die, I go somewhere. I transcend this three-dimensional plane of existence, and perhaps go to another place. Think about this.